Good morning. Welcome to the virtual Sunday service for the Journey Within Spiritualist Church. I'm Reverend Dennis Battersby from the Journey Within, and I will be hosting today's service. I am pleased to welcome our guest today, Reverend Jason McCuish. Reverend Jason McCuish is a pastor of Swampscott Church of Spiritualism in Massachusetts. For the past 20 years, Jason has been cultivating his craft as a spiritualist. Inside and outside of the church, Jason has a genuine love for spiritualism and teaching in general. In addition to his role as pastor, Jason is a nationally award-winning high school teacher, a football coach, and a mentor to many young men and women from his hometown. I'd like to welcome you, Reverend Jason.
Thank you so much for having me.
We begin our service with spiritual healing, conducted virtually, as our healers are with us today. If you would like to request a healing for someone, please type their first name and first initial of their last name into the chat box. Please do not include the person's full last name. If you wish, you may also add the names of your pets, the planet, or global circumstances. We will open with a prayer followed by a period of quiet meditation. If you would like to participate in the healing, please quiet yourself and focus on your breathing. And as you inhale, feel yourself boosting your own immune system and igniting the inner healer within. Please join me in prayer. Dear God, we join together in prayer, asking for healing for all of our brothers and sisters who are suffering and in need of healing. We ask that their suffering be eased in some way. We also pray for healing of the minds and the hearts of all people. May we learn to be kinder, gentler, and more compassionate. May we learn to see your beauty within ourselves, within all living things, and within all your creation. May we learn to honor you through our thoughts, actions, and may we learn to be ambassadors for the healing while we walk this earth. Amen. As we come to the end of healing, we will continue to remember and pray for those who are suffering and who are in need of healing. Amen. If you would like to request healing for anyone during the course of this week, please email or call the church with their names, and we will forward this to the healers who will pray for the healing for days, weeks, months to come. Thank you, all of the healers. Welcome again, everyone. I'm Reverend Dennis Battersby from the Journey Within Church, hosting today's service. We are here today with Reverend Jason McCuish. We open the service with song and prayer. I would like to invite Reverend Jason to lead us in the opening prayer. Reverend Jason?
Yes, thank you. Infinite Spirit, we thank you for the blessing of yet another day. Today we ask that we are mindful of our mindfulness, that we are grateful for our gratitude, and we ask that we are loving toward ourselves and toward others. As we sit together today in service, we ask that you bring your loving presence close to our minds and hearts and open up our spirits so that we may feel your ever-present, ever-guiding, and ever-attentive love in this moment and in the moments in our week ahead. For these things we pray. Amen.
It never fails.
It doesn't.
Now I invite Reverend Jason to provide today's address. Reverend Jason.
Thank you. And hello to all the folks over here at Journey Within. What a pleasure it is to serve this morning. Recently, while I was waiting for a meal that I was cooking, I had this thought to myself about how great things take time. And as much as we want to rush the meal to appease our appetite, I think the beauty of the meal takes a bit longer than expected. But when it makes it to the table and into our bellies, it's certainly worth the wait. And I think this experience in many ways is a simple realization about our lives. While we want to rush the experience, it takes time. I think babies in birth are a lot like this endeavor. It takes 9 months until their perfection arrives. And even then, it still takes a long time until it finds a way to perfect itself, if ever. Aren't we just like this? More importantly, as I was pondering these concepts and ideas, I really started to think a lot about spiritualism. How long does it really take until perfection appears in our lives? And equally as trying is what does the perfection look like when it does arrive? There's no question we're all probably awaiting that moment when something magical happens. But how often do we pay attention when the little moments are actually occurring? Made me think about the early spiritualists. Did they ever think the beginning of a simple wrappings in a small home in Hydesville would turn into a movement? Did those who paved the way for us to have a humble religion, sharing the words of the forerunners, ever think that they would see a church community of spiritualists meeting together from across the globe? I'm sure it was a hope of theirs, but the fact we're here and able to do this every week is something so special. After so many years of being a spiritualist, I often find myself attempting to ponder those earlier times and those earlier days with questions like, what did it take to truly step outside the box and find oneself enamored with something so different when the world wasn't really accepting of those ideas or concepts? What kind of strength did it take for those early spiritualists to greet the welcome of a new thought, new idea, new concepts, to stand up and consider a search for a new truth of understanding? So this morning, I thought we'd take a little step down a rabbit hole to the birth of modern spiritualist movement, the little fictionalized elements of my own for some fun here. There's a slight chill in the air while Kate Fox and Margaret Fox sit inside their small cottage in Hydesville. While the March air sings the songs of the onset of the spring, the chill inside the little cottage still requires a small blanket to enamor the cool remnants of the winter. Outside this little hamlet, the green grasses begin to grow, and there's a scent in the air that soon the birth of the spring would bring a rebirth outside of the cabin, and the 11 and 13-year-old would soon be able to bask in the sun's glow. In the silence of the dusk, young Kate makes a joke. Maggie, why did the blacksmith's daughter get sent to detention? She was caught forging signatures. Haha, yeah, I know. That's a stupid joke, Margaret scolds. Kate is not disarmed. She laughs hysterically at her own joke and begins to slap her knee. Her laugh, contagious to her sister, beckons her to laugh with the joke simultaneously. Soon, the energy in the room is filled with laughter and cheer when a rapping hits the wall. Knock, knock. Both girls look at each other with blame. Kate tells Margaret, knock it off. I didn't do that, Margaret says, as her eyes widen and the light hits her eyes. Knock, knock. I don't think we realize how beautiful the mundane existence can bring something so extraordinary. We live our lives, we eat, we breathe, we smile, we cry, we mourn, and often we just carry on. Yet we seem to wait our whole lives to find something beautiful that can teach us meaning and understanding that may, in many ways, extend beyond what we consider our reach. This, perhaps, is why we wait our whole lives for an infinite spirit or a higher power to step into our lives and grant some magnanimous exaltation that will cause each of us to take heed and discover our purpose. Knock, knock. Another rap hits the wall as the two girls stare at each other. Quickly, Maggie is no longer lambasting Kate's joke as she finds Kate attached to her shoulders in search of a hug that is filled with both fear and apprehension. Don't worry, Kate, it's just the floorboard rattling because of the wind. Remember what Papa said? I don't hear any wind, though. Maggie looks into Kate's eyes and says, of course I'm sure. Listen. Knock, knock. I don't hear any wind, but you did hear that, right? What if Papa is wrong? Kate asks. Maggie notices Kate's shivering body as it presses against hers, and Kate is right. There is no wind making her tremble. The two sit in the middle of the bed near the light of the candle as dusk settles in on the little cottage. Tonight it is even early for the family to go to bed. While Kate's body presses closer, Maggie, in a moment of vacillation, inadvertently pulls Kate closer for comfort. Knock, knock. As humans living a physical existence in a spiritual body, as they say, how often do we, when we're on the verge of experiencing something incredible, pay close attention? More importantly, what does it take to acknowledge the infinite's expression as it enters our lives? Do we need a beating over the head before we can set our ego aside and accept the love of God? Or can it come to us in the form of a simple knock? I think this would be a great time for another one of your jokes, Maggie tells Kate. I don't feel much like telling jokes right now. Knock, knock. In a fit of fear and bewilderment, the two girls run from the back bedroom to their parents for reassurance that the floorboards were indeed creaking. Only as they arrive there, they find their parents wide awake, Mr. Fox candlelit looking for his own explanation for the rattling. It appeared he, too, was bemused. Mama, Papa, did you hear that noise? Asked Kate as she hugs her father's waist. Don't worry, it's just the floorboards in this old house, says Mr. Fox, as he looks to his wife's eyes with astonishment. Suddenly the chair moves and the faint sound of footsteps appear to echo in the hallway. John, come back here, Mrs. Fox scolds. Knock, knock. A knock is not an inscrutable idea, whether a physical rapping on a wall or a door for that matter. A knock with persistence needs to be answered. Not too long ago, right before the Fox family attempts to manage the physical rap-ins in Hydesville, not too far away, an illiterate young man endures raps of a different nature. Not all raps, of course, are physical, but the mind is a beautiful organ to entertain when it's appropriate. It may and sometimes happen that the principal events of individual experience are wrapped in mystery and uncertainty, or may be distorted by the flitting shadows of appearances and uncontradicted reports. If individual life has in its developments of any practical value to mankind, if it contains any fresh lessons of encouragement and instruction, then it most manifestly becomes a work of justice and mercy, a confession of the inner heart. This was said by Andrew Jackson Davis in his autobiography, The Magic Staff. After hearing these words, the question is, when do we know how to answer? When do we know when to silence the knocks? And should we answer and find our own meaning if and when the knocking occurs? I believe that spiritualism has been attempting for so long to answer these questions. So often we're all beckoned by the knock. Perhaps equally as true, we sometimes ignore the knocks, consider them a little rapping that we overlook, and we continue on with our existence. But what if the knock could bring us a profound truth, an experience beyond the inner heart? I think Andrew Jackson Davis at least listened, and he listened intently. He said, I will not be doomed into hellfire and brimstone, he thinks as he awakens after a tumultuous night of contemplation, imbued on him by a local pastor's perspective of life after death. Yet in a soothing voice as he awakens from his bed, a calming affirmation knocks on his soul, and he hears, be calm, Jackson. The pastor is wrong. You will see. After fear equipped him with an afterlife of hate and everlasting torture throughout his early years, Davis hears these words and attempts to clear his mind. While faith, death, and everlasting life weighs heavily on young Jackson's mind, he finds an outlet. The people in town are in great amazement at the arrival of Professor Grimes, a noted hypnotist who would be arriving to town to perform great miracles of healing and hypnosis. Buffooners, heretics, and charlatans are the words others use to describe these so-called miraculous acts by Dr. Grimes. Yet they are met with such excitement by the townspeople. Is it possible that Dr. Grimes would convey a new operation and understanding about the afterlife? Young Davis's heart grew hopeful. To him, this seemed like a more convincing way to understand the healing nature of God in the afterlife. Is this the opportunity for me to see that the pastor is wrong? Young Davis asks himself. Again, a little fictional account here. As he walks into the room, there's a sense of both trepidation and trust. Jackson looks around at the other 15 men present. The room seems to be split, believers and non-believers. He felt he was sitting on the cusp of separating the numbers. I am now going to invite you into a sleep state of mind and consciousness, said the confident Professor Grimes. Now close your eyes and do not open them. Davis could not help himself. The anxiety and energy in the room could not transpose him to the relaxation of which Grimes requested. Keep his eyes closed? That's nearly impossible. You now can't open your eyes, Grimes stated. Ha, Jackson thought to himself as he opened his eyes slyly to look around the room. In fact, he opened his eyes without thought or complexity. After 2 hours of witnessing the mesmerism of others, Jackson realized he was truly affected. Knock, knock. Does it take the steadfast acknowledgement of some other entity or individual to help us realize the magnitude that spirit and faith already operate in our life? Can we truthfully look past the experiences of others and what we hope they will impart on us to better help us see the gravity of what a spiritual understanding can bring to our life? Should others bring our experiences and understandings of faith and infinite spirit to us? Or do we have the means to listen to and accept the knocks when they are at our minds, doors, and hearts? It probably makes sense that just like the Fox family and Andrew Jackson Davis's experiences exhibit, we don't need to recognize that we are not physically, emotionally, and spiritually prepared long before the knock occurs. Our humanity in this spiritual existence, yet sometimes requires a reminder to help us grow and accept the beauty of an esoteric and spiritually tangible life while enduring a physical actuality. Knock, knock. So I ask you, how do you invite the idea of spirit into your life? The Fox family may have had the knocks that changed the world. Andrew Jackson Davis might have found mesmerism to transcend his illiteracy and a foundation of thought that topped the seekers of his time. But all it takes is one knock at the door to open the hearts and minds of so many others. And so here we are, a group of spiritualists, a church which in its phase of life is still a baby, giving birth over the 9 months of growth and development in the eons of time. We are nonetheless, though, a season of miracles. And while the history of religion speaks of the identities of the one or two who have seasoned their paths to righteousness, I propose that as we go forward as spiritualists, we all should heed the understandings of those who have also come before us to teach us. In the words of Charles Mackay, quoted by Andrew Jackson in his biography, let us let go of the egg and become the acorn. Quote, a traveler through a dust road strewed accords on the leaf, and one took root and sprouted up and grew into a tree. Spiritualism does not look beyond the acorn. It acknowledges the acorn for what it is, spiritual growth. So I invite you to plant yourself as the acorn and grow into the tree that is you. It may require knocks of discomfort, but it will surely help you to grow into the tree that the infinite created within you and for you, with all those knocks included. Like a meal, you may take a while to appreciate it, but it's important to acknowledge, receive, and respond to each and every spiritual knock. So I wish you well in that. Knock, knock. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Jason, for those words of inspiration. We now come time for our collection and announcements. There is a box on the screen. This is for donations. We appreciate any donations at this time. If you would like to donate, you can click the box or donate through our website or send a check. We are grateful for all donations, great and small. Now it is time for announcements. If you're not a member of our church, please check our website under announcements and inclement weather to see if our in-person Sunday morning service is still being held. All members do receive an email with such announcements. Please consider becoming a member of our community. And that's the little QR code over there with Reverend Joe on it. Online upcoming events and classes. The first and third Wednesday of the month, a community meditation with Eugenia Bushman. On February 8th, Trance Mediumship series with Judith Seaman begins. February 9th, an in-service to spirit with Christine Morgan. February 12th, Enhancing the Mediumistic Connection series with Judith Seaman begins. Also, there's a demonstration of mediumship with the Journey Within with advanced students. February 14th, Evidential Private Reading Workshop with Simone Key. February 15th, The Power and the Presence of the Soul series with Judith Seaman begins. February 17th, Angels, Guides, and the Afterlife with Kevin Tadashi. February 18th, The Heart Bath for Better Mediumship with Pamela Meredith. February 23rd, A Demonstration of Mediumship with Pastor Joe, Ellen Shander, and Lori Sheridan. February 24th, a 10-month intermediate advanced mentorship program with Paul Jacobs begins. If you are interested, register early. March 3rd and 10th, Confidence Clinic with Pamela Meredith. March 6th, a spiritual assessment workshop with Simone Key. March 8th, Understanding and Delivering a Spiritual Address with Christine Morgan. March 11th, we have a demonstration of mediumship with Journey Within advanced students. March 14th, Being a Pet's Medium with Lillian Steiner. March 15th, a demonstration of mediumship with Pastor Joe, Reverend Bonnie Grossman, and Laura Wooster. March 16th, Edgar Casey on Family Karma with Kevin Tedeschi. And in person at the Journey Within, today, beginning February 4th, mediumship development class, all levels with Pastor Joe and guest tutors, the first and third Sundays of the month. February 25th, the Heart Bath for Better Mediumship with Pamela Meredith. Also a demonstration of mediumship with Pastor Joe and Journey Within mediums. April 18th, the 22nd, intermediate and advanced level mediumship training workshop with Paul Jacobs. April 25th to 29th, advanced professional level medium training workshop with Paul Jacobs. Now it is time for a demonstration of mediumship. As a spiritualist church, we do believe in the continuity of life. As the medium brings forth a body of evidence of deceased loved one, and you can take 90% of what has been said in the exact way that the medium has said it, rather than in a way you can make it fit, please raise your little digital hand, usually located at the bottom of the screen, under raised hand or reaction symbols. Can some people do that for me now? Thank you. Oh, there we go. The hands are popping now. All right, thank you very much. Okay. If you can take the first few pieces of evidence, but cannot continue to take the next pieces of evidence, please lower your hand so we may find our recipient as quickly as possible. If several people can take the information, it's up to the medium to discern the right recipient. If you are invited to speak but cannot unmute or having difficulty, please type to me in the chat box. We will now listen to a song in preparation for the demonstration. Please join me in our message prayer. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I'm 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circle flight. I am the soft star that shines at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. And now I invite Reverend Jason to offer demonstrations of mediumship. Reverend Jason.
Thank you. All right. Just make sure all you folks practice that raised hand as well as you did when Dennis asked. No. All right, I'm just messing around here. I do feel the presence of a gentleman who's stepping in from the spirit side of life. He does feel to me like he would have been much younger while he was here on the earth plane. I do feel like with him that he would have he's taking some credit for his own passing. So I know whatever happened and how he ended up over in the spirit side of life, he it was part of his own choice and his own decision. I do feel like with him as he steps in close to me that he was really working hard in his life to kind of figure it out. And I feel like there might have been some mental health issues that he struggled with. I don't know that everyone necessarily knew what he was going through, what he was experiencing, but he's definitely making me feel like for a while he was here on the earth plane, it was really hard for him um, to get along. I do feel like that it causes him to have some substance issues while he's here, and that may or may not be a part of what he's talking about when he's making me and acknowledging to me that his own part in his passing. Okay, I feel that he makes me feel too that he was a pretty like he was really good at making it look like he was okay, even though I get the sense that he wasn't. Okay, and um, I feel like he might want to talk to somebody who may be a parent or like is close with his parents, like maybe his aunt or something, or uncle. But I feel like that's who he's looking to connect to here, is somebody who would be close with them in that way. Okay, and it's and um, you know, I have to like say that he's really excited to be here. And I also want to acknowledge that, like, if this message is yours, um, I keep hearing him say, you saw me," like, and so I guess like um my feeling with that and my sentiment with that is that you like saw him in spirit, but also you were somebody who, while he was here, actually understood what he was going through and what he was experiencing. Okay.
We have two hands up, Sharon and Mary Ellen.
Okay. Um, now, this
Now
just
we got a bunch of hands. Hold
yeah.
on.
Hey, don't get all crazy over there now, people. No, I do feel like with him too that he did have a good sense of humor, and I feel like he definitely used this humor to sort of like back out of things, right? Not to really make sure people didn't know how hurting he actually was while he was here. I feel like this has to go to a parent. I feel more strongly connected now to like the idea that if this is yours, you this would be like your child or your son. Um, and so I'm not sure if that's helping bring some of the hands down, but that's really important and significant. I feel it. I also feel like if this is yours, I want to just like bring you some healing because you've been sort of struggling as well. Okay. And I feel like, we don't prescribe, we don't diagnose as mediums, but I certainly just get this sense that you really have been needing support, right? So I'm feeling like this is about a message about just taking care of you and taking care of your health as well. Okay. Um,
We still have five hands. Would
we'll,
you
we
like
will
to-
we'll work this out, I think, here. Um, I really feel drawn to like sometimes my finger just wants to draw letters and I want to draw the B initial. So I don't know if the B name is connecting here with them. But I definitely feel the B connecting like right directly with him. So I don't know if his name is the B name, but that's really what I want to say. Um, and like I have to, it feels like his father um would be with him, or there's like this other male energy that feels like dad to me that is with him over in spirit. And so I have to also just kind of say that you were concerned whether dad greeted him or dad got him when he went over to the spirit side of life. And I feel like dad saying, yeah, I got him, or he's saying like dad got me. Okay, now we're getting more hands again. So I'm hoping that if your hands up, you can take almost all of this, if not all of it. That would really be helpful. I really feel like I'm drawn to the Anna Levitt name, just for that.
would you like to hear from
Yeah,
Anna?
can I hear her voice maybe just to see if that is where it feels like it's right?
Anna?
Hi, Jason. My name's Jared. I'm Anna's partner, actually, and this sounds a lot like someone I can relate to.
Okay.
I can,
And would you understand like the dad being over there in spirit?
So I can take very, very close to me. I can take everything that you said except for that. And I am not a parent, his parent. I'm a very close friend.
Okay, I need to go to the parent though, unfortunately. So maybe I apologize. Maybe it's not yours.
No, okay.
Because I almost like I have to like acknowledge that somebody here on the earth plane is like going through like it feels to me like cancer treatment, and is like fighting that fight. And so I feel like that is what's really what spirit wants me to separate this at. So good, I see a couple more. So maybe this connects back. All right, maybe can I just check in with Sharon then?
Sharon.
Hi, this is Sharon.
Hi Sharon, do you understand all of that?
Everything except not the B.
Okay.
That's not his initial.
Okay. Do you
Um,
understand are you in treatment of something or someone right close is?
yes, I had treatment after my son left
Okay.
us,
Yes,
and
I'm with you. I'm gonna stay with you
okay,
then. Okay.
okay.
Like and like you understand like him saying, you saw me recently. Like you
Yes, in a
okay,
dream, it was
okay.
so real.
Okay, all right. This is you. All right. So then I have faith in spirit enough to know that that the B like I feel like I wanted to say Bob or Bobby or Robert or Robbie, but if you don't understand that, that's fine with me.
Well,
Um,
Bob has come through
okay,
before with my son,
okay,
so
that's
it's
good.
his uncle.
That's okay, good. All right. Good. It sounds like with you, okay? And I feel like his reason for connecting with you today is like he wants to let you know that yes, you saw him. Like he was very much there because I he makes me feel like you second guessed it quite a
Oh
bit.
yeah, I
So
tend to do that.
so this is his way today of just kind of coming through and do two things. One, reminding you that you know that you saw him and that he's very much around and being around to take care of you. Okay, you know he says he wasn't always easy to take care of. Okay, and so you know this is him coming in and saying he wants to be there for you and take care of you at this time.
Oh, that's great. I need all the help I can get.
Okay, well, he's there, and I guess so is Bob. So I'll leave you with and his dad as well. So I'm gonna leave you with his love and blessings.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sharon. All right.
Bye bye.
I also know that I'm aware of a lady from the spirit side of life who wants to connect, and she feels very maternal. So I feel like this is someone's mom. I feel like she passed recently, like relatively recently, like not too long ago. And you know she makes me feel like she was ill for quite a while. Okay, and I know that she fought and fought and fought, and nothing just they just could never figure out what was wrong. And I feel like if you take this and you understand it, then you also understand that it was so frustrating for you at the fact that we're never able to like get any real answer, even with her passing, and so it has caused you extra grief in that respect because you still feel like there's not a lot of answers. Okay. As she steps in a little bit closer to me, I like I'm very drawn to like that because of all of her illness, she was over medicated, over prescribed. I almost feel like you know, maybe was also like overcompensating for her illness with other forms of medication or things like that. You know, and so it just really feels to me like she was really out of it for quite a long time while she was here. Okay, and it's important for her to just kind of be able to say like I finally feel better, you know, I finally feel okay, because if you understand this you also understand that for so long you struggled with having to always see her not okay, you know, in her physical being. So I do see one hand up.
One hand.
All right, great. We're going to make this one a little bit easier. um,
There you go.
Um, can you hear me, person here, iPhone?
Yes,
Great. And you understand this as mom?
I think so.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not positive because it wasn't that big of a mystery, but
Okay.
it was a lot of too much medicine. We couldn't get the medicine right.
Okay. So I feel like if this is right with you, okay, that I get that part. Like it definitely felt like the medicine was off, but I feel like the medicine was such a mess because they never knew what to like how to like treat whatever was happening. Does that make sense?
Um, well, they knew it was a seizure, but we couldn't get the medicine right.
That doesn't feel right for me. I
Yeah,
feel
it might not. This might not be
yeah,
her. This might not be her.
I feel very strongly that like there has to be some sort of like some like mystery around like what happened and how she passes like and it leaves like sort of like some
No, I have to probably look.
yeah it leaves
I'll probably look.
frustration. Okay, thank you
Okay.
thank you though
We have
because
3
what
other now.
yeah what I know that I feel is that like the person that this message has to go to is really struggling with their own grief because they felt like they wish they could have done more or figured out more or had been there to do more. Okay, and you know and it was really again it was really hard to watch the and I feel like this is over a large number of years that we watched the illness sort of take her, but with no real concrete answers. All right. So the other
No.
thing I know with this woman, as she comes in, is that she like was a collector too. She liked to collect things. She had maybe over collected. I don't want to make any judgments, but there's sort of like I just see like stuff all around me when I like look around her home, look around where she's living. She really cared for those things, and I think that those things were really a part of like sort of her needing things to like make her feel better about her upbringing and whatnot. So I feel like I might want to talk to Sharon.
Sharon?
Yes. Hi, Sharon. Are you there?
Hi, yes, it's the same Sharon. This would be my mom.
Okay, great. And you understand like all of that information?
Yeah, all of
Good.
it.
Good. So, Sharon, I feel like I want to just let you know that like she feels better. Okay. And it's important that I say that because the way she makes me feel is that you can't move past what happened and it's like affecting you physically.
Yeah, there's been a lot of heartache since
Yeah.
my son left, and then my mom just a year and
Okay.
little over a year.
All right. Wait, are you the same person I just read?
Yeah,
Mm.
so I didn't
Oh
want
my
to raise
goodness,
my hand.
that
I
didn't even
didn't
dawn
want
on
to
me.
take it
Sorry.
over.
Oh, okay. So I guess the whole fam's coming in to support you today.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Um, yeah, because I feel like this is about you healing yourself, right? About you allowing yourself to move forward. Okay. Um, it gives me the sense that that's really been hard for you, and I know that's easy for me to say, but I'm just the messenger here saying that that's what they're looking to you to have to that's what they want for you. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I'm struggling right now, but um trying to find a good path.
Sure. Well, I think if you're here, you're starting in the right place, in the right space, right? And
Right.
allow the journey to begin to unfold for you. Again, that's me throwing my own 2 cents in there, so forgive me for that. But I do feel very strongly that all your loved ones are coming around and looking to cheer you on as you move forward. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you for working with me again.
Okay, great.
Many blessings.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Jason, for rekindling the loving again with the family members. This concludes the demonstration of spirit communication. I thank all of you for attending the service today, especially thanks for Reverend Jason McCuish for being with us today. I want to thank all the people behind the scenes, Patty, Karen, uh, Joe, Nancy, and everybody that helps makes this service go. And we end the service today with prayer and song. And I invite Reverend Jason to lead us in the closing prayer.
Sure.
Reverend Jason.
Thank you. Dear Infinite Spirit, as we conclude our service this morning, we ask that you continue to lift up our hearts, our minds, and our spirits so we can continue to be aware of your ever-loving presence. Please help us to be so present that we can answer the knocks as you bring guidance and love and support into each and every part of our life. And as we ask that while we're present, we send that love and that healing to all of those who can't be with us and for all those who are truly in need. We thank you for all that you do for us, and we're truly grateful for all the blessings you provide to each of us each day. Amen.
Thank you. Enjoy the closing song. Thank you, Reverend Jason. Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed, good week. See you next week.
Nice to meet you today.
Nice to meet you, Jason. Yeah, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.